Hey guys, welcome back. We've recently picked up this old 78 club car golf cart and we're going to be working on restoring this. These old golf carts are really cool. We love the character of this one and want to restore it back to what it looked like originally, and so we're going to be putting some work into this. So to get started, I'm going to wheel this in the garage and take off the tires and start working on the brakes. The brakes currently do not work. The e-brake is seized up and the master cylinder I found is no longer working on this, so I replaced that, oiled up the e-brakes, got it to brake free, and now it's working great. And then I went ahead and bled the brake lines with the new master cylinder, got everything functioning, put it back together. I'm going to rotate the tires, put the two nicest tires on front, and then put some newer knobby tires on the back to give us a little more traction. We're driving this mostly off-road, so that will definitely help us out with that. Once we're done mounting the new tires to these rims, I'll go ahead and put them back on the golf cart and start taking the golf cart apart, systematically trying to find any issues with it, fixing it as I go, and then I'll clean up each part, paint it, and put it all back together once we're finished. I've already removed the two old bucket seats that were on this golf cart. They were in really bad shape, dry rotted, and the foam soaked up water and rusted out the bottoms of those bucket seats. They're not actually usable anymore, so I'm going to be making a bench seat to go across this, and I wanted a bench seat anyway, so it worked out alright. I'm trying to take this apart as carefully as possible because some of these pieces are really brittle, like the plastic pieces, so I'm going to take those apart, fix them, and put them back. The fiberglass body on this golf cart is in really good shape. There's a few cracks here and there that I'm going to be patching with fiberglass later, but I'm going to wheel this back outside and take my pressure washer and clean off layers and layers of dust from this just sitting for years. That will give me a better idea of what I'm working with too. I can see clearly what needs to be replaced once it's a little bit cleaner. This golf cart didn't come with any batteries, and at this point, with the age of the golf cart, probably wouldn't be any good anyways, but I'm going to go ahead and add a nice upgrade on this and put in a new lithium-ion battery. However, that's a lot bigger than the lead batteries that were in here, and so I'm going to have to cut the frame and put in a new rack for that larger battery to go in here. So I'm welding that right now. I'm going to be bolting that to the frame and reinforcing it to make sure that it didn't lose any structural integrity on that golf cart frame. After a quick paint job, I'm going to bolt the new battery frame to the golf cart and then attach the pan that was original to the golf cart, just recycling it for this larger size here to hold the new battery. And just like that, the new battery fits perfectly. I'll put a mount on top of that battery to hold it down in place and then move on to do some wiring. I've got here some trailer wires. I've noticed that the wiring is very expensive at auto parts store, but if you purchase one of these trailer wire sets, they come with 4 wires. It's less than half the price, but you can easily pull them apart and you get 4 different wires. So I'm not really sure why the other spools are significantly more money, but this will save you a little bit of money if you don't mind pulling those wires apart, which only took a few minutes. Along with the batteries, I believe a lot of the electrical and voltage regulator fuse box had been ripped out of this golf cart, so I'm going to install this small fuse box to protect smaller things like the horn, lights, brake lights, and different things. So I'm going to install this, and I did all this work and then realized I forgot to install the voltage regulator, so I'll come back later in the video and install that. But basically that will reduce the battery, which is a 36 volt battery, down to a 12 volt for those smaller uses like the horn, lights, and brake lights. Now I'm going to move on to the body. I'll sand down the fiberglass body and get that ready to patch different areas that have been cracked or holes that I'm going to be filling in that I don't need anymore. So I'll sand those down so that the new fiberglass and epoxy can bond with the old stuff. I'll also be working on the dashboard. This is plastic and it's really old and brittle, and there's already holes missing in the glove compartment, and this is not going to last long if I try to put it back in the golf cart. So what I'm going to do is layer this with fiberglass. I'll put a layer on the front and the back, basically encasing the whole thing. This will make it a whole lot stronger, and it's going to be a little bit difficult to get that fiberglass to fit perfectly to the shape, so I'm going to work on this quite a bit, trying to get it to be smooth and to match up with the old dashboard. What I wanted to do is try to preserve as much as the old golf cart as I could. I didn't want to just replace the dashboard or else it will lose some of that character, so that's why I'm encasing it in fiberglass, trying to keep what was originally there. Once the fiberglass is fully hardened, I'm going to come back with my multi-tool and trim off the extra fiberglass on the edges and trim out the hole for the steering wheel. I need to sand this all down. What I'm going to end up doing, because the fiberglass is rough and I don't want that texture on the dashboard, I'm going to come back with some body filler and fill that in, try to smooth this out and do several coats of that while sanding, trying to get this smooth. I wasn't able to get this perfect, but I got it really close and it looks amazing once it's all finished, painted, and installed on the golf cart, so I'm really happy with it. After a quick coat of primer on this to help the body filler bond with the fiberglass better, I'll go ahead, let that dry, and then start filling this in with some body filler. In between each layer of body filler, I'm going to go in and sand this down by hand because my sanders can't really get in here that easily. It's too tight, so I'll sand it down by hand and make sure I get this as smooth as possible. Now I'm just about ready to finish up this video. I didn't want to put out a 20-minute long video that seemed a bit aggressive, so I was able to shorten this down to 2 shorter videos. So this is going to finish up part 1. I basically ripped apart the golf cart. I fixed a lot of pieces, but this really won't start looking good and coming together until the next video. I'll be painting and assembling everything back together with everything fixed, so check out that video. I'll be posting it next week, and if it's out already, you'll be seeing it right here on the end of this video. It'll pop up on the screen. So go check that out if you're interested, and thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'd also love to hear from you guys and hear what you guys think, so feel free to use that comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Here's a few videos I think you'd enjoy, so if you want to see more, click on those and go check them out.